The Badgers haven't looked great so far this season. Is there any hope we can get it done in Ann Arbor?
Welcome to the Bucky Report, your destination for all things Wisconsin Badgers. Authentic takes.
Oh my God.
Game analysis.
Touchdown Badgers! Ring one up!
And discussion from the fan perspective.
Woo-hoo!
Thanks for joining us and on Wisconsin.
Welcome into the Bucky Report. We are your hosts, Rajiv and Justin, back together for a midweek preview episode talking about the upcoming game, yes, at Michigan. It might not be a pretty one, folks, but we're going to talk all about it today. You can find our show on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you to all those who helped us reach 2,000 subscribers. Let's keep it moving. Thank you so much for that. And for liking all the shows and everything. And thank you to this guy next to me for hosting our show on Sunday. I was out of town, went to Disneyland with my daughter. I am back. So that's good stuff. A couple quick programming notes before we get started. Listen, I went 4-1 last week in Saturday locks. So it was a good week. I'm now 14-7 on the year. This is good stuff. There's no money line favorites here. This is all against the spread or over and unders. There's a QR code on the screen. If you haven't checked it out there, they used to be on the Bucky Report channel. They are on their own channel now, YouTube, and again, podcast, wherever you get that. Also, next week, the Bucky Report, Locked On Badgers, we are headed to Madison for the Iowa game. It's going to be awesome. If you're going to be in Madison for that game, hit us up on Twitter, DM us, Discord, wherever. We'll try to let you know where we're going to be. We're going to try to set at least one sort of meetup where we can go drink at a bar together. But it's a night game, which is nice. So definitely pre-gaming that day. And if we win, we say this every year, Justin, but we never actually win when we go. If we win, it's going to be a nice and drunken night. But that doesn't seem to happen.
No, it does not.
The last thing is also next week before the Iowa game is Big Ten basketball media days taking place in Chicago. I'm going to be there for that. Similar to what I did for the Big Ten media days for football. I'm going to be doing a couple updates when I'm there and a live show with Nick Osen and maybe Ryan, because I think Ryan's also going to be there for that. So we'll try to get a little show dropped. Give you some updates on Big Ten Media Days, but look out for special coverage again from Media Days. Excited to hear what Greg Gard has to say. He's going to have John Blackwell and Nolan Winter with him, so that'll be really exciting to talk to those guys as well. All right, Justin. There's a game this Sunday. There's this Saturday. It's a game that before the season started, we were thinking, this is a bit of a coin flip. Maybe we can go on the road and get Michigan. Doesn't really seem as likely.
The Bucky Report's 3 big things.
All right, Justin. 3 big things. Nope, I hit the wrong button. All right, so this is number 1. I'm going to start here, then I want your thoughts on this. Keep Justice Haynes in check. It's the one thing we've shown we can do. Justice Haynes, the Alabama transfer running back now at Michigan, is averaging 8.1 yards a carry on 66 carries this year. He is their offense in many ways. He's super explosive. They've had tons of explosives, whether it's, pin and pull or whether it's wide zone schemes, gap schemes. They run it all. Chip Lindsey, their offensive coordinator, has really made this a dynamic running game. But, Justin, the one thing that we've shown that we can do well is stop the run. This has to be something that we do here. Has to be.
Yeah, I think this might be one of those situations where you look at it and say, we probably won't shut him down completely, but you want to keep him in check. And that's got to be your goal. The run defense, honestly, has been the one area that I think we feel pretty good. And if you're going to have any prayer of winning this game, you're going to have to absolutely keep him from getting in the end zone. And we'll see if we're going to be able to do it. My gut instinct is that the defense is going to come in with an attitude and a chip on their shoulder in this game, the run defense. We'll see what happens. I think they'll acquit themselves fairly well. We'll see if the rest of the defense can take care of their business.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. We're not shutting down Justice Haynes. We're not shutting down the Michigan run game. That's bananas. But we can make it not as lethal and explosive as it was against Nebraska and the other teams that they've played. I mean, 8.1 yards a carry is an obscene number from him, which kudos to him. They've got a great rushing attack right now. But if we can we got to keep them behind the chains a little bit, right? If we can get a couple stuffs on first and second down, keep them behind the chains, put the ball in Bryce Underwood's hands. I was talking to a Michigan podcaster on his show the other day, the Rabid Wolverine podcast. Go check out that preview that I did with him. But the one question mark that he keeps talking about on their offense is their receivers. It's a very inconsistent wide receiving core. And Bryce Underwood, although he is a flashy young true freshman quarterback, he's still a true freshman quarterback. So I want him to have to win the game. I don't, but that's why Justice Haynes has over 800 yards already, or not 800 yards, 560 yards, something like that. But it's because they don't want Bryce Underwood to have to carry the load on this offense. So if we can be that team, if we can be the best run defense they faced, and Oklahoma was pretty good, they beat them. If we can do what Oklahoma did and stop the run and force Underwood to make plays, again, they're still going to score. Maybe, just maybe, we can find something to do. How do you feel like our pass defense is going to do here? Like, that's obviously been an issue here, but then what they've done so far in their attacking is they use Haynes and then they go play action for those big explosive plays. And I don't know how we're going to defend that.
So my response to that would be, well, you talked about how inconsistent the receivers are. This is a get right game for them because our secondary is Swiss cheese. So, unless they plan on showing up this week and actually doing something, they've been pretty horrific the last few games.
Yeah, it doesn't help that Preston Zachman is out again. He's still not coming back. That's a big loss. Zachman not being in there is massive. But,
yeah, it's a significant not having somebody with that experience on the back end.
Yep. Yeah, we've got to stop the run, though. It's got to start there. I'm not saying we're not going to give up pass plays. We are. But if we don't stop the run, can you imagine how many points Michigan's going to score on us? It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. All right, number 2, find creative ways to move the ball while also committing to the run game. What are your thoughts on our offense here? Danny O'Neal looks like he's going to be the starter. He's been taking the reps in practice. Doesn't appear like Billy Edwards is ready. Based on the fact that he played against Maryland. He shouldn't have. I wanted him to, but he shouldn't have played because he wasn't healthy enough. Would have been healthy for this game had he not, but now he's not. So Justin, would start Hunter Simmons. I've said that multiple times, but that's clearly not going to happen. So what are your thoughts on how we can move the ball on Michigan?
I honestly think that this game is one where you just try to gain some confidence and get comfortable running the football. And we have shown zero willingness to actually make that a focal point of what we're doing. Listen, the offense isn't good, and it probably won't be good in this game. What you can do is you can start building towards the second half of the season where hopefully if you get these guys in sync in the running game, you can build off of it and build into it a passing game. Some of these games are going to look ugly, but at least you can get your stable of set plays that you feel confident in, hopefully by the second half of the year, that you can run and be able to do some things off of. Right now, we're not doing anything well. So all this misdirection and deception and everything else that we're trying to do is a total waste because nobody is afraid of anything that we're doing. And until the running game is actually showing any sign of, life, you really can't do that. Like there's no point in trying to do these things with all the, movement and stuff like that when the defense is just like, whatever, we're going to sit here and we don't, even if we make a mistake, we're probably going to be in the right spot. They're not afraid of our offense right now.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with committing to the run game. We have to do that because this is a very tough defensive front. That's their strength of their defense. Of course, we know this. Cornerbacks are the weakness of their defense. So maybe we can find ways to Vinny Anthony, get Vinny Anthony the damn ball. That should have been a key to just get him the ball, let him touch the ball a lot more. But I agree, we got to run the ball. I do still think that means we got to find creative ways to move the ball, meaning like run the ball. But yeah, I think the creativity is important. But I think you make a good point about how defenses now are just going to stay home. They're going to have their gap discipline because they don't need to chase us because we're not that good. So they're like, no, you just stay home. And if Tretch is coming around on a jet sweep, there's going to be a guy there to meet him, which is what Alabama did. And Michigan is on that level of defense. So yikes, man. I don't know. I would like to think that we're going to Danny O'Neil has had multiple starts now, and he got the reps this week in practice. He took most of them, according to him, in the quoting, most of the reps. So I don't know how much Billy's been getting, or Hunter for that matter. But if the game plan is really built around Danny O'Neil playing again, which it was not for Maryland, then maybe, just maybe, that gives us something to hold our hat on. But I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is what I will say is Maryland had 6 sacks against us. If you start playing offense the way you did in the last game, Michigan's going to have 10. So stop messing around. We can't get this cute with some of the stuff we're trying to do. This offense is not clicking well enough to be doing things with a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, we got to get past the ball quick, right? I mean, if he's going to release the ball, it's got to be whether it's quick slants and or bootlegs, get him out of the pocket. Like the thing is, he doesn't have a very strong arm, so we can't really threaten the ball deep. So how do we move the ball effectively against Michigan? I don't know, but it starts with running the damn ball and hopefully doing so with some effectiveness. Remember, Renfro maybe will play. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Renfro. Have you heard anything about Renfro?
I have not.
So let's assume Renfro doesn't play, whether it's Corey. I've also heard Davis Heinzen might be looking at taking some snaps at center. Oh boy. I mean, we should be able to have some run production on the left side of the line with Brunner and Malman over there, but it's not Malman's natural position, and I don't really know what happens. So find creative ways to move the ball, but we've got to commit to the run. I think you and I both agree with this. Like, if we can do something and even just get better, if the defensive front they're facing is strong, well, do what you can against the defensive front, and then you see some fronts that aren't as good. Hopefully, then you can have some production. All right, I'm gonna let you take number 3 here, Justin.
Yeah, number 3, coach like you want to keep your job. The last game, what I will say is, being at the game for Maryland, it seemed an awful lot like the leadership of this team just kind of threw up their hands and didn't know what to do. And that's how it looked with the players on the field. I think that the team represents the leadership that they're seeing. And if it doesn't feel like there's direction being provided from leadership, then the workers aren't going to be able to follow. So right now you need to figure out, I don't care whose voice it is, but somebody's got to be the person who wants to pick up the torch and be like, we're going. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to get things done. Follow me. I'll get you where we need to go. Because right now it doesn't feel like anybody's leading anything.
Yeah, I just switched this to coach like you want to make the program great. We heard so many great things. There's been so much talk about Fickell in the last couple of weeks. I mean, when a bye week happens, you're going to have these look backs. You guys looked at the sort of the state of the program on your show on Sunday. There's so much talk about it, and he's got to answer the call here. You're not going to win this game. I think we all know that, and no one's expecting you to win this game. But that doesn't mean you can't coach well, look better, have a plan, make sense of what's going on out there, make adjustments during the game. For God's sakes, make special teams not have stupid gaffes. Like, we can't beat ourselves. We're already playing a really good team, but you don't have a pump block. I don't care if you're playing Alabama, if you're playing the number 1 team, you play the top 5 teams in the country. You should never have a punt block or a field goal block. That's just bad.
And that both in one game.
It's poor design. So that can't happen. And that's all a part of coaching. It's about being prepared to play, which time and time again, we hear, Fickell was out coached and they weren't ready, but they weren't prepared. I, for once, would like our team to be the ones. Oh, wow. Sharon Moore was clearly outcoached by Luke Fickell. Wouldn't that be nice? Mm-hmm. I don't even think we have to win the game for that to be the narrative, but we can find a situation where we actually look like we have a pulse out there and we're playing well and we're doing something that shows that we're trying to grow this program. Because I know that people say, well, he's going to be here this year, he's going to be here next year. Okay, fine. If that's what's going to happen because they're not going to buy him out, then fine. But can we please see some production on the field?
Listen, if we start looking like we did against Maryland, I don't care what the price tag is. If it's that bad the remainder of the season, he probably won't be here. Like, I know people want to say that there's a huge price tag associated with it, but if you just look like you're not even competitive, I don't think you have any recourse but to fire him. It would be the most ridiculous thing ever for our athletic department to be like, well, we got to hold on to him because he's expensive. Okay. You just told us when you hired this guy that you were opening up the purse strings and you were committed to being competitive and to winning titles. And that type of move and that type of mindset says the exact opposite of that. When you say, well, financially, it's a tough decision for us, but we're just going to accept sucking because we don't want to pay. Don't look cheap. You screwed this up. Now fix it and make a good hire if you replace him. But if this is going to be terrible the rest of the year, I want to see things get better. I want to see that you actually have a pulse and that you're seeing what we're seeing and care. Otherwise, you have to look at it and be like, our athletic department is incompetent. And they're spineless.
There's obviously the angle of it that maybe they believe that it will get turned around. Maybe it's not just a money thing, but it likely is just a money thing if they don't.
There's
if they
3
don't
years of regression
hire.
that says that
Yeah.
that's not accurate. And if they want to play that card with me, then I would just be like, okay, well, show me where you've seen something that proves that that's worth betting on.
And that is the real thing that's been such a downer. It's that the regression, right? It's not like we're just a 7-5 team every year.
Yeah.
We're 7-5, 5-7, and now probably 3-9,
3-9, maybe
4-8 at
2-10.
best. I feel like,
But hey, he needs another year. It might come together.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, listen, well, you and I are on lockstep on this. I've said, like, I'm out on him until he shows me otherwise. At this point, I'm not the other way around. But the reality is, and Ryan's talked a lot about this, other people have said it, like, he's probably going to be here. So if he's going to be here, then let's show something. Like, do something that shows us that you're like, okay, we can get behind this, because I'm still an optimistic Badger fan. I want to believe in this team. Give me something to believe in. Give me anything that says, all right, this we can take a step forward here. We can latch on to one thing. I mean, I'm willing to take anything at this point. If Billy Edwards comes out and plays one good game, I'm gonna call for the Heisman. I mean, I want something to believe in, but they've got to give me something. Right now, it's about as bad as it's really ever been.
If they show nothing and we get told that he needs to stay, then you have to fire Mac. You absolutely have to, because it shows that that he has no control and that he has no commitment to actually getting better. I am all for giving coaches an opportunity to turn things around. However, you have to show growth. You have to make it look like you're headed in the right direction and that you're at least competitive. Right now, we're not competitive. If who you want to compete with is Mid-Tennessee State and, Miami of Ohio, then congrats. You guys can all leave and go to the MAC. I want people in here who are committed to being competitive in the Big Ten.
That's well said. That's well said. All right, what do we think is actually going to happen in this game?
The Bucky Report predictions.
All right, Justin, I'll let you go first on this one. The line, by the way, is like 16.5. It's pathetic, by the way. 16. Yikes. All right, predictions. What's the score in this game?
I'm going to say 31-3.
31-3.
We couldn't move the ball and look competent against Maryland. I don't see it happening against Michigan, where it's going to be significantly harder to move the football. And I am very concerned about our defense's ability to stay up. Meaning, I worry that the defensive line or the front seven is going to start to just get apathetic because they can't stop the passing game. And that is my concern.
Yeah, look, I think that Maryland was a really, really bad game, and I think left a very sour taste in a lot of our mouths after what was already a not so great start. I think that this team, first of all, again, Michigan's defensive front is really good. They've got some really good pass rushers. Jayshon Barham has 3 sacks already. They've got their top tacklers, Ernest Hausman probably. Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of good players. Their secondary can maybe be had a little bit. A week of game planning with Danny O'Neil, so maybe our offense looks a little bit better than it did as far as just overall functionality. Because remember, the Maryland That was it was a play calling disaster, as you pointed out, being at the game, because I think it was, okay, we've got this whole plan of playing Billy Edwards, and then that just gets blown up again. So
then that's a failure by the coaching staff. Like, that's completely lacks common sense.
Correct, but maybe it gets better in this game, so it looks a little bit better. I'm going to say we scored 10 points. Okay, I'm just going to give it that. I'm going to say we scored 10 points. I think Michigan probably scores 31. So 31-10. I think I was at like 31-13 earlier, but you kind of convinced me to go back a little bit. So 31-10. I think we lose. I don't think we cover the spread as much as I would like us to do that. There is no upset alert here, to be honest. Like, I feel like maybe people are like, if there's going to be an upset, maybe it's Wisconsin, it's Michigan. No. If Billy Edwards was playing, I would say, okay, we're still not going to win, but maybe there's a shot. I just want to see us get better, and I want to see us move the ball. If we can stop the run, and if, as you've said, commit to the run and actually run the ball somehow, some way, then there is a chance. There is a chance. But it's got to be perfect. And Danny O'Neil has to play the perfect game, which means he can't have stupid turnovers. This is going to be a really good defense who's going to pressure him a lot. We've got to scheme up quick passes, get the ball in your playmakers' hands, and maybe something can hopefully work out for us. Doesn't
you know what Burgess Meredith said in Grumpy Old Men? You can hope in one hand and crap in the other, and we'll see which one gets filled first.
Gosh, it's just so true. Just so true. So go check out Saturday Locks. That'll be out Friday morning on the Saturday Locks show. We'll be back on Saturday on Locked On Badgers, of course, for the reaction show after the Michigan maybe crazy victory that would just drive us. It would be insane. And of course, Iowa game. We will be there next week in Madison. Let us know if you're going to be there. Meet up with us. It would be great to see you. And we'll be back, of course, on Sunday for our regular show. With that, thanks for joining us in On Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoy the show, subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Bucky Report or The Bucky Report Podcast from wherever you get your content. Until next time, on Wisconsin.